Can't believe I'm doing this video, but Bitcoin just over 5% away from hitting all-time high. Will it happen today? Could it happen today? What's up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit that subscribe and like on the way in. Let's jump into the Bitcoin video. So this is what we're tracking. We started tracking it, I think it was like 11 or 12 hours ago. In this video from yesterday, check this out real quick. We're going to be tracking this. This is a new setup on the 4-hour chart. It's like the pathway to all-time high. Everyone, do you see this? Do you see this? I can't believe we're doing videos like this. And I want to say this just right off the bat. Everybody, there's a strong chance this doesn't happen today. But when I did that video, Bitcoin's around 10% away from hitting all-time high. And this was like 11 or 12 hours ago. We've broken, since that video, we've broken out of the upper trend line, almost spot on to what we were anticipating. This is why I was anticipating a break today. 74% to the apex of the triangle, I think closer to maybe right here, or maybe right here, but we got the break. And so 5% to the upside from where we are now could happen. I mean, it's in the realm of possibility, and it's a very simple move for Bitcoin. Does it happen? I don't know. But I want to talk about some really important things. In last night's video, I talked about what would happen if Bitcoin does hit that area. And my opinion was Bitcoin's going to just kind of cruise right through it. I don't think there's going to be immediate resistance. And what's really interesting about exploring that scenario is I was actually just zooming out on the charts, and I was reminded of something very important. And it all goes back to the bull market doors that I've just talked about for so long on this YouTube channel. So here's 2013 swing high, right? That's the bull market high, just over $1,000. We have the bear market low, and Bitcoin puts in this Fibonacci retracement resistance area right here. I've just been talking about it for so long on this channel, especially if you've been watching recent videos. Bitcoin breaking into the bull market doors. And we've particularly been looking at this huge dip that Bitcoin fell into right after that happened. Even though Bitcoin was bullish, Bitcoin took a huge dip, right? And so if we look at the same exact type of Fibonacci resistance, the bull market doors this time around, from our last swing high, the bull market high, to bear market low, up to the Fibonacci bull market doors, the chart looks so similar, and we were anticipating that this could happen. It's crazy that it's happened. But what I want to talk about is this. If you look back then when Bitcoin was breaking those bull market doors, Bitcoin hit resistance almost exactly at the 2013 all-time high. So back then, it actually did hit perfect resistance, almost perfect, before just crashing. There was huge resistance there, everybody. And if we look at this chart, Bitcoin is approaching the 2017 bull market high, and you can see right after breaking the bull market doors. Even more so, if we look at Bitcoin back then when it was doing that and hitting that resistance, if we take Bitcoin from the 786 line, the top of this Fibonacci retracement, to that resistance, Bitcoin was around 19% overextended from that area. And if we take Bitcoin from this current 786 line of the bull market doors, Bitcoin's currently around 15 or so percent overextended. And if we get up here into the 19%, Bitcoin will not have reached all-time high yet. And you can just see Bitcoin so on par, so synergistic with what the charts were doing back then. The question is, and this is what I'm watching, everybody, because this is probably the most interesting thing happening on the charts. The macro charts are converging onto the micro charts. So what we're looking at here, zoomed out, it's going to be defined right here. And this is a 4-hour chart. This is the exciting part of technical analysis. But will Bitcoin do what it did last time? So far, it's really done almost exactly what it did in the last cycle, right? That's how we were able to anticipate Bitcoin, breaking back into the bull market doors and tracking that area. But now that Bitcoin's through those doors and Bitcoin is overbought, and if you open up, this is the weekly chart. If you open up the RSI, you can see Bitcoin approaching that overbought territory with still some room to go up to that 90 line on the RSI right here. But if you look at these things, is the same thing going to happen as Bitcoin approaches the recent all-time high 2017? Are we going to see resistance here and come back down for a huge dip? If Bitcoin doesn't do that, this will be the biggest divergence away from historical data that Bitcoin has made, I would say, to date. And it would be the most significant sign that all this talk of institutional investors and these things like PayPal happening, it will be the biggest indicator that those things are kind of creating this unstoppable Bitcoin. And Bitcoin might just do what it hasn't done in the past, which is just take off and really ignore that overbought area, because it hasn't done that yet. If you just look at the weekly chart, we zoom out, every time Bitcoin gets in that overbought area up here, there's been pretty big pullbacks. I don't know what's going to happen, everybody, but this is probably the most important data point on the Bitcoin charts to track. It's so important, and I just spent 6 minutes talking about it. Let's dive into what's transpired on the short term. I know many of you here are here for the short term. So as you know, last night, Bitcoin's just been playing perfectly in this series of higher highs, higher lows, a few different patterns, a symmetrical triangle, which started it all back, not long ago, 16 days ago or so. We got our breakout target. We finally hit it just the other day, a couple days ago, right here, and we've consolidated into a new symmetrical triangle. Now, two targets really still in play right now in the short term, and we talked about this briefly last night. We have the breakout area of the upper trend line right here. That is the kind of larger rising wedge with a breakout target just around 19,000. And we have this new symmetrical triangle we've been talking about with a breakout target right around 19,300 or so. We can call it at this point where it's broken out of the symmetrical triangle, and you can see that break right there if we zoom in a little bit. So we have these two targets for Bitcoin right now, and the question is, what will this day bring? What will this day bring as we're looking for just this huge, unbelievable macro resistance? And we're even looking at short-term resistance, namely just this target of right around 19,000 that Bitcoin's only a few $100s away from. To give you an idea, we're talking about Bitcoin hitting that target is only less than 2% away from hitting that target. And then we have this next target. We have a lot of just short-term resistance just right ahead of us. And above that is the most macro of all macro resistance, an all-time high of Bitcoin, just under $20,000. Everyone, the resistance is so strong ahead, but Bitcoin is so close to that resistance. How is Bitcoin going to interact? And is it going to interact with that area similar to what it did back then, right in 2017, the beginning of 2017, end of 2016? And are we going to retrace? Either way, this was the beginning of just something crazy for Bitcoin. And something tells me we're at the very beginning again of something crazy for Bitcoin. This is an update, everybody. I want to do an update video. Obviously, I just did a video 12 hours ago. And interestingly enough, the title of that video, Bitcoin Moments Away from All-Time High, could tomorrow be the day? I sit here 10:47 a.m. Eastern time, and I ask myself, could today be the day? We are so close. If I get the price range right here, Bitcoin currently just over 5% away from all-time high. Is it going to happen today, everybody? Is it going to happen? You better believe I will be doing another video if it does. But again, there is resistance here on these charts. If we look at the 4-hour Fibonacci retracement from the swing low before Bitcoin broke out of this symmetrical triangle, that last touch to the bottom trend line just yesterday, to this current, where it is now, this could change very quickly. You can see the Fibonacci support area down here, 618 to the 786. Right at the apex of the symmetrical triangle. It's something you always want to keep in mind for even short-term consolidation for continuation. So a scenario where Bitcoin says, okay, I'm going to just take a break, revisit that apex, happens often, especially in these symmetrical triangles, to continue to the upside. This could lead us into tomorrow, the next day, or will support fail, right? And that's something that's in play. You notice I haven't been talking about targets to the downside as of lately, mainly because we haven't really tested these areas, right? I usually start talking about targets when Bitcoin starts coming back down and testing these areas, but Bitcoin just keeps breaking out of these upper trend lines over and over again on these charts, and it just keeps going. Higher highs, higher lows. It's really cool to watch. I'm enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it. Let's see what Bitcoin does today. Everybody, hit the comments. Let me know what you think Bitcoin's going to do next. Give me a date. Put a date. When do you think Bitcoin's going to hit all-time high? Hit that like button while you're at it, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. We are close to $50,000. Or 50. You know what? Bitcoin it's getting there. And it better not beat me to 50,000 subscribers, but Bitcoin's getting close to $50,000. I'm pretty confident I'm going to beat it. So let's beat Bitcoin to 50,000. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.